keep on running back to you. See, my days are cold without you. I'm hurting while I'm with you. And though my heart can't take no more, I keep on running back to you. Baby, I don't know why you're treating me so bad. You said you love me, don't wanna find me, and I was all you.
What's up, y'all? It's your girl Kid Love. Welcome back to my channel, and if you're new here, welcome. So today I'm going to be showing y'all how to make my homemade ramen, and I'm excited to share it with you all. But to start off, we're going to get a little bit of olive oil, some multicolored tomatoes, wait till those get nice and charred, and we're going to go ahead and chop up the rest of these veggies. So here I have some bok choy. I'm going to go ahead and chop this up, clean it off, and then we're going to keep it pushing. All right, so now the bok choy is nice and washed off. We're good with that. So I went ahead and washed off some white mushrooms. I'm going to go ahead and pop the stems off of these and slice the tops very thinly. Next up are the carrots. I went ahead and washed and peeled them already, so we have this nice pretty orange color. And plus, y'all, honestly, when you leave the skin on carrots, they taste dirty anyway. That's just my opinion. But anyway, so the first carrot, I'm going to thinly slice them into rounds. As you can see, this part is going to go in the broth. The second carrot, I'm actually going to strip it into ribbons, and that's going to be a topping. So for the second carrot, I'm just going to use a vegetable peeler, potato peeler, whatever you want to call it, to make these nice, simple, thin ribbons. If you want to get fancy and pull out like a spiralizer or anything like that, you can if you want to, but I'm just keeping it real simple. But while I'm doing that, let me tell y'all about this ramen though. So I think it was like last winter, I was craving a homemade ramen, but I was also craving like a coconut soup because a few years ago I had a good coconut soup called Tom Kha that was really refreshing and really good. So basically I was trying to make a play on both of those flavors. I was freestyling as usual, and the Lord above came through because I'm telling you, he be doing it. It turned out really good and I was really surprised. So that's how this recipe was born, y'all. So I hope y'all enjoy it. But anyway, so we're going to go ahead and move on to this cilantro. One thing that I did not add today that I usually add if I can find it is lemongrass. Oh my God, add some lemongrass if you can. It is so good. It's such a wonderful flavor for this soup, this ramen. So yeah, if you get some lemongrass, go ahead and do that. But next up, I'm going to chop up a couple of green onions, spring onions, whatever you want to call it. Y'all, I love green onions, so we got to add those in. Next, I'm going going to finely chop 3 to 4 fresh garlic cloves. Please make sure your garlic is fresh and it is not the pre-made minced garlic that comes in a jar. That's going to totally throw the flavor off. You need to use fresh garlic. If you're not big on garlic, you can just use 2 cloves, but I'd recommend using 3 or 4 for this recipe.
Leave all of your things, yeah. You can stop at Gucci, stop at Louis V, yeah. Come with me, fly you out to Greece. Full speed, so for the belly, yeah. Come with me, leave all of your things, yeah. You can stop at Gucci, stop at Louis V.
So last but not least, we are going to finely chop some ginger. So we're going to do the same thing we just did to the garlic. We're just going to grab about 1/2 inch or so and go ahead and peel it and finely chop it. Again, use fresh ginger. Do not use the minced ginger that comes in a jar. It's going to throw the flavor off. We want to keep it fresh for this recipe. Next, I have a heated pan with a little bit of olive oil, and we are going to saute the ginger and the garlic. I have it on low to medium heat because we don't want to burn it. I do want to get it nice and brown, so yeah, we just want to make sure we don't burn it because it does burn easily. We're just going to cook this for a couple of minutes. All right, y'all, so what I'm doing is I grabbed a large bowl and I'm filling it up with some warm water because for the ramen noodles, I'm actually going to be using kelp noodles. If you don't know what kelp noodles are, it's a type of seaweed. And no, it doesn't taste like seaweed. They are actually very low in calories. They don't really have any flavor. And their texture is not as soft as you think they are. They're actually pretty firm, tough, crunchy, whatever you want to call it. So I like to soften it up by sitting in some warm water, a little bit of sea salt, and some lemon. I like to cover it for about 20 to 30 minutes. Just let it soften up a bit. I promise you, they are not going to get mushy. They are not mushy at all. They are not like overcooked spaghetti noodles or anything like that. It just softens up just a little bit, but they are still firm. Kelp noodles are very low in calories, and you don't even have to cook them, y'all. So it's just perfect for this recipe. Listen, y'all, one thing I want to call out about the kelp noodles is that it's a good source of iodine. However, you do not want to consume too much iodine because you can have some negative side effects. So actually on the brand of kelp noodles that I use, which is by Sea Tangle, they actually mention on the back of the package not to exceed 150 micrograms of iodine per day. So it actually tells you that each 4-ounce serving of this brand contains 54.8, which means, you can do the math to figure out how much you should use of this packet. So don't go crazy, y'all, with the kelp noodles. Make sure you figure out how much iodine you're consuming for the day so you do not exceed the limit. You can do your own research, but I definitely wanted to call that out. All right, y'all, moving on. So as you can see, the ginger and the garlic are nice and golden now. So now we're going to go ahead and add the rest of these ingredients, starting with a can of full-fat coconut milk. You want to use the full-fat coconut milk because it's going to be nice and creamy. I do save a little bit of the cream to the side just for my own personal use for breakfast and stuff like that, just a little bit. But basically, I want to use about a 14-ounce can. It's about, honestly, it says 13.66 ounces, but I'm just rounding up. So grab your 14-ounce can of coconut milk, full fat, and go ahead and mix that up. So now I'm going to add the juice of half a lime. I usually end up using the entire lime, but I always start with the half to be on the safe side because you can always add more. And then I'm also going to add the zest of the lime. If you don't know what that is, it's literally just the outside layer of the skin. If you don't know, citrus has a lot of benefits in their skin. It smells wonderful. There's essential oils in there. I'm just using a zester tool, as you can see, and just scraping it. And I'm just going to get some of that lime skin on there. And it's going to pronounce that flavor. It's going to pump it up. And it's going to really pronounce that lime flavor. You can do the same thing with lemon and orange. I'm going to show y'all that real quick. Boom. Yeah, I was struggling a little bit, y'all, just because it's easier before I squeeze it, but I forgot. And then next, I'm going to add some sesame oil. Followed by some coconut aminos. If you don't know, I don't use soy, so I like to use coconut aminos instead. Coconut aminos do have a slightly sweeter taste than soy, but y'all, it's a great soy sauce replacement. Next, I'm going to add 1 teaspoon of rice vinegar. Y'all, I know you're like, girl, you didn't measure nothing else. Listen, I don't want to go crazy with the rice vinegar, so I'm giving y'all an exact measurement of that. And then we're going to go ahead and add some Old Bay, followed by a little bit of Montreal chicken seasoning, a little bit of onion powder, a little bit of chipotle chili powder. And if y'all don't have this, don't panic. A little bit of mushroom seasoning. This is going to give it that umami flavor. And then 1 tablespoon of nutritional yeast and half a teaspoon of sugar. And then you're going to stir that up really well. So once you give that a good stir, we're going to go ahead and toss in those sauteed tomatoes. In case y'all didn't know, they got a little char on them. Those mushrooms that we sliced up earlier. The carrot rounds, not the ribbons, y'all, just the carrot rounds. The cilantro. And the bok choy. Now go ahead and try to blend that, fold that all in really well. Now listen, it's going to look like you have more vegetables than you do liquid, but that's okay because we're about to add some water to increase the liquid. But we don't want to add too much water because we want to focus on the coconut milk. Don't be mad, y'all. I ain't going to be able to give y'all a measurement because I just eyeball it. But if I had to guess, I would say add about 1/3 cup of spring water. Just go ahead and just see how that goes. But listen, the bok choy and everything is going to shrink. So don't worry. It's not going to stay like this. It's definitely going to shrink and it's all going to blend really well. Now, the secret ingredient is this red curry paste, y'all. I add about half a tablespoon or so of this red curry paste. This is what's really going to give the ramen its flavor, y'all. It's really good in this recipe. So go ahead and blend that up really well. So now I'm going to cover with the lid and let it cook for about 7 to 10 minutes on medium heat just to get those flavors nice and mingled together. But while that's happening, I have a pan over here on medium heat that I'm spraying with a little bit of olive oil so I can saute up some kimchi. This is vegan kimchi, y'all. And the reason why that I like to saute it because, as you know, you can just eat it right out the jar. But I don't like it cold. And then too, of course, I like to add char to it. I also like to dry it out a bit and also add a little bit of sugar. So heat it up and sauteing a little bit on the medium high heat dries it out just a bit, which is how I like to eat it. But listen, I don't know if I'm killing the beneficial properties by doing that, y'all. So just let y'all know. But I'm just going off of texture here. So I like to cover it, just dry it out a bit. And yeah, boom, we're going to do that. So it's been about 10 minutes, and as you can see, it's nice and heated, bubbling up, getting along very well, y'all. It's looking good. But now we're going to add another secret ingredient, and that is tahini. Y'all, I'm not the biggest tahini fan on a regular, but I'm telling y'all, it plays a key factor in the texture of this ramen. Add about a tablespoon of tahini. It's definitely going to make the ramen nice and smooth and silky. I'm telling y'all, trust me on this. It really plays a key factor in the texture of this ramen. Another thing that I like to add is a little bit of chili oil. This is the homemade chili oil that I make. I'll post the recipe link below. It is not my recipe. It's a recipe I found online. I don't like the store chili oil because they contain canola oil and soybean oil and things like that. But I love chili oil and I also like the little spice to it. So yeah, I'll post that recipe link below. But give it a nice mix, y'all. Y'all want to make sure you stir up this ramen really well because of the tahini. Because if you don't, it's going to be a little grainy. So you want to make sure you get that tahini smoothed out. So then we're going to go ahead and cover it and let it cook for about 5 more minutes on simmer. And then you're going to go ahead and give it a taste test and see how everybody's getting along.
I said, skirt all niggas, skirt up all niggas, skirt down, you acting like me, acting like we wasn't more than a summer fling. I said farewell, you took it well, promise I won't cry, but spill milk.
So after the taste test, I decided to add the other half of the lime, which I'm not surprised, y'all, because I usually end up using the whole lime. But like I said, I like to start with just a half. And then I'm also going to add a little bit of Hawaiian black sea salt. I love Hawaiian black sea salt. It has more of a bold taste to me than regular sea salt. So I'm just going to add a little bit. It's a nice finishing salt. So I'm just going to add a little bit of Hawaiian black sea salt. I'm going to go ahead and mix this up. Let it simmer for a couple of more minutes. Check on this kimchi, y'all. And then we're going to go ahead and plate.
Got me looking forward to weekend. Show, baby. Show, baby. Show, baby. We do whatever we want, go wherever we want, love whatever we want, it don't matter. You do whatever I want, get whatever I want, get whatever I need. It's about love, 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 love. Obviously got
So now we're going to go ahead and dress this thing. We're going to add the kelp noodles. Make sure you dry those kelp noodles completely off once you drain them from that water that we used to soften them. Then you're going to add the carrot ribbons, followed by the sauteed kimchi. And then we're going to add our sliced mushroom. Followed by the green onion. And surprise, surprise, y'all. Y'all know this would not be complete if I did not add an egg. Yes, y'all, we are adding those vegan WunderEggs that I reviewed. I'll post that link below. We're going to add a couple of those. We're going to top this off with a little drizzle of chili oil. And then boom, we got our homemade ramen, y'all. I hope y'all enjoyed this recipe. If y'all did, give it a thumbs up. If you'd like to be notified whenever I post, hit the subscribe button and the bell icon will ensure you get notified. If you have any questions or if you're going to try it out, drop it off in the comments below. Also, follow your girl on Instagram. Until next time, y'all, it's your girl Kia Love. Peace and love.